Conservative firebrand and bow tie enthusiast Tucker Carlson is always ready to share his controversial opinions on Fox News. To his fans, he's a populist hero speaking truth to power, but his critics have accused him of spouting dangerous views. Here are some of the celebs who can't stand Tucker Carlson. As protests and demonstrations swept across the country in the wake of George Floyd's death while in police custody in late May 2020, Carlson took aim at corporations supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as celebrities who donated to bail funds used to aid arrested protesters across the country. During a June 2020 episode of Tucker Carlson Tonight, he said, "Big companies, cynical, soulless, craven corporations like Pepsi, Intel, and Airbnb are funding this chaos. They're giving money to Black Lives Matter, which is pushing to defund the police. But it isn't just major corporations that are fueling all of this.
Celebrities are too, by paying to get violent rioters out of jail."
Carlson called out numerous celebs, but specifically cited Old Town Road rapper Lil Nas X for using his massive social media following to encourage donations. He said, "Imagine if he had used those followers instead to help small businesses destroyed by the riots he helped incite." That bold claim caught the Grammy Award-winning artist's attention. Lil Nas X tweeted, "This man just lied and told millions of people on national television that I was inciting riots. You can't make this up." Actor Seth Rogen, who was also included in Carlson's rant, replied to the rapper-singer's tweet with, "This pasty ass." Comedian and actor Patton Oswalt was also included among the celebrities Carlson blasted for supporting Black Lives Matter and donating to bail funds in June 2020. However, the unbothered star wore it as a badge of honor, tweeting out a screenshot of a message from his mother calling him a good boy. He captioned it with, "Got this email from my mom when she heard about Carlson doing his celebrity roll call on his show. I love her." During an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert later that month, Oswalt discussed Carlson's comments and joked that he was upset that Carlson didn't use a better photo of him. He quipped, "Apparently, I and about a dozen other evil left-wing celebrity cabal decided to give money to supervillains in the streets, protesters."
It looked like a K-Tel record ad.
I saw this!
Speaking about how Carlson's naughty celebrity list was, quote, "the best list to be on," he went on to joke that he was thrilled when images of himself and singer Harry Styles scrolled beside each other during the segment, just as the Fox News host said the words Hollywood power couple. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a frequent target of Fox News.
Why are so many grown men just obsessed with this, 29-year-old?
So when Carlson played a clip of garbage in New York City during a December 2019 episode of his show, his guest, conservative writer Seth Barron, unsurprisingly took a shot at her stance on the environment, saying, "How can we take seriously anything she says about the environment when this is her congressional district? She should be ashamed of this."
If you claim to care about the environment, you think that the little piece of America you're responsible for, that you represent in the Congress, would be clean, but hers isn't.
He then went on to call Ocasio-Cortez's Bronx district one of the least American districts in the country, claiming that it was filled not by many American citizens, but rather a, quote, "high percentage of illegal aliens." Naturally, the outspoken member of The Squad, who is famously known by her nickname AOC, didn't take too kindly to that exchange. Ocasio-Cortez tweeted, "I go back and forth on whether to go on Fox News. The main reason I haven't is squaring the fact that the ad revenue from it bankrolls a white supremacist sympathizer to broadcast an hour-long production of unmitigated racism without any accountability whatsoever." Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is another frequent target of Carlson, and he didn't hold back during a nearly 3-minute monologue in July 2019, attacking the Somalia-born representative with an anti-immigrant rant. Carlson described Omar as living proof that the way we practice immigration has become dangerous to this country. The controversial Fox News host went on to say that Omar should be grateful for being allowed to come to America from, in his words, one of the world's poorest countries. He added, "But she isn't grateful, not at all. After everything America has done for Omar and her family, she hates this country more than ever." Carlson then issued a warning to his viewers, saying, "So be grateful for Ilhan Omar, as annoying as she is. She's a living fire alarm, a warning to the rest of us that we better change our immigration system immediately, or else."
No country can import large numbers of people who hate it and expect to survive.
Omar, who's not known for quietly accepting hate that comes her way, fired back on Twitter. "Not gonna lie, it's kind of fun watching a racist fool like this weeping about my presence in Congress. No lies will stamp out my love for this country or my resolve to make our union more perfect. They will just have to get used to calling me Congresswoman."
It's really quite disappointing to see Fox News give a nightly platform to the white supremacist rhetoric that's coming from the likes of him.
On October 11th, 2019, Fox News' chief news anchor, Shep Smith, shocked viewers and colleagues alike when he announced that he was leaving his post after being with the cable news channel since its inception in 1996. According to Vanity Fair, Smith's decision didn't come out of the blue. Rather, it was the result of a long internal struggle that had the reliably objective veteran news anchor pushing back on the network's plan to become President Donald Trump's mouthpiece, which ignited a feud with Carlson. When Smith hosted Andrew Napolitano the previous month, the former judge said Trump's phone call with the president of Ukraine to find dirt on presidential hopeful Joe Biden was a criminal offense. In response, Carlson hosted pro-Trump lawyer Joe DeGeneva, who attacked Napolitano's assessment on air and called him a fool. Smith, in return, referred to Carlson's segment as repugnant, since he hadn't defended Napolitano. Vanity Fair's report alleged that both the president and CEO of Fox News then called Smith and warned him about attacking Carlson. A source with knowledge of the call claimed, "They said if he does it again, he's off the air." However, a Fox News spokesperson said that call never happened, stating to Forbes, "At no time did anyone, including anyone in management or a third party, speak to Shepard Smith regarding this matter. Anything to the contrary is entirely false and wildly inaccurate." During a 2018 episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, the affable late-night talk show host took aim at Carlson over his feud with Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti. After Daniels and Avenatti made an appearance together on The View, Carlson sharply criticized them on air and added, "The View gave 3 segments of their show to a newly minted political pundit. Along for the ride was her creepy porn lawyer."
I wouldn't throw around the word creepy if I looked like fancy lad who paid his wet nurse to sit on his lap.
For his part, Avenatti fired back on Twitter, writing, "Do you truly expect people to believe that you have never viewed porn? When is the last time you viewed porn? You demean my client and me because of her profession, while you are an absolute hypocrite. Nobody likes a hypocrite."
That is a low blow, Avenatti. You leave Tucker alone. Do you think he likes being a hypocrite?
Stephen Colbert took it from there, saying in part, "Yes, over the years, Tucker has debased himself. He has degraded his reputation by saying disgusting things with his mouth, all in front of a camera for the cheap thrills of an audience of old men, just for a few dollars. But he needed the money." Last Week Tonight host John Oliver didn't hold back after Carlson took issue with, well, Sesame Street. In June 2020, the iconic children's program hosted a CNN town hall where Elmo and his father explained the concept of systemic racism to young children in order to discuss the Black Lives Matter protests. Needless to say, Carlson didn't appreciate that. On his show, he responded, "This may be a lot of things, this moment we're living through, but it is definitely not about Black lives. Remember that when they come for you, and at this rate, they will."
Got that, Bobby? America is a very bad place, and it's your fault.
Oliver then responded on his show and said in part, first, obviously, f*** off Tucker, you one-man homeowners association. And second, that unspecified they and what they do to you when you grow up is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. There's basically 2 options for what that could mean. One, that Tucker and his viewers have benefited from a racist system that renders any specifications of who they are unnecessary. Or 2, that his show is a badly written piece of garbage. So, which is it, Tucker? Are you a racist or are you a total moron? The answer can be, and is indeed, both. In 2019, Media Matters unearthed some horrific comments Carlson made during a 2009 radio appearance. He seemingly defended underage marriage, calling women primitive, and claimed Iraq was filled with, quote, semi-literate primitive monkeys. Carlson tweeted in March 2019, "Media Matters caught me saying something naughty on a radio show more than a decade ago. Rather than express the usual ritual contrition, how about this? I'm on television every weeknight, live for an hour. If you want to know what I think, you can watch. Anyone who disagrees with my views is welcome to come on and explain why." Days later, Full Frontal host Samantha Bee bashed the conservative host over his response, saying on her show, "Well, guess what, go? We have been watching your show, and we found that it's a revolting trash heap of racist talking points."
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Tucker Carlson is a white supremacist. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, I am.
In the subsequent series of videos, Carlson took his usual anti-immigrant stance by claiming the United States admitting immigrants would, quote, make our own country poorer and dirtier and force demographic replacement. In response, Bee pulled up a clip of white supremacist protesters in Charlottesville chanting similar sentiments and quipped, "Where have I heard sweaty white men yelling about being replaced before?" One of Carlson's most controversial feuds was with Senator Tammy Duckworth, a Thai-American Democrat who lost both of her legs while serving in the Iraq War. The basis for the feud? Duckworth appeared on CNN's State of the Union in July 2020, where she suggested that she understood the call to remove statues of Confederate generals and slave-owning founding fathers, such as George Washington. This didn't sit well with Carlson, who said during his show, "There are many of us here who do like this country. We don't want to destroy it. We have every right to fight to preserve our nation and our heritage and our culture."
Only someone who hates the country would suggest ripping down monuments to its founder.
He then went on to call Duckworth a vandal and a moron for voicing her opinion on statue removals. He said of Duckworth and Ilhan Omar, "We're not allowed to question their patriotism even as they scream about how horrible America is. We have every right to laugh in their faces, and we should." Tammy Duckworth is not a child, at least not technically. She is a sitting United States senator. Duckworth immediately fired back, tweeting, "Does Tucker Carlson want to walk a mile in my legs and then tell me whether or not I love America?" During an infamous 2004 appearance on the now-defunct CNN show Crossfire, Jon Stewart didn't pull any punches with his fellow panel guests, Democratic strategist Paul Begala and Tucker Carlson. Stewart called them both partisan hacks and said,
Here's just what I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop hurting America.
Carlson then referred to Stewart's lecture as boring, leading Stewart to fire back by making fun of Carlson's bow tie. Stewart said, "You're doing theater when you should be doing debate. What you do is not honest. What you do is partisan hackery."
You have a responsibility to the public discourse, and you fail miserably.
The heated exchange then became a bit volatile when Carlson started throwing insults at The Daily Show. However, Stewart asserted that it was a comedy show that's not to be taken seriously, saying, "You're on CNN. The show leading into me is puppets making crank phone calls. What is wrong with you?" Crossfire was canceled shortly thereafter, with the president of CNN, Klein, specifically citing Stewart's appearance and his decision. In an op-ed titled "The Day Jon Stewart Blew Up My Show," Begala claimed Stewart came onto Crossfire with an agenda and bemoaned the fact the audience didn't see an honest debate. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.